Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I am Shay, and I am here to talk to you about my fur baby, my fur son. This is Tux, and in this video, we're just gonna be talking about my adoption story with him and the process that it took for me to get him. I'm not gonna go into much depth of why I decided to go with adopting. We'll put that in another video. But for now, here's all the information. He's so cute. Look at him. Hi, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna stop moving. Please stay. Please, thank you. I'm gonna stop moving. So first things first, I went to the Los Angeles Animal Shelter to look for a cat to possibly adopt that day. All of them were caged separately. You were able to kind of just play with them through the bars, and if you saw a cat that you liked, then you would let an attendant know. They would meet you. They would open up the cage to pick up the cat if the cat allowed you to do that. But you couldn't put the cat on the floor. You couldn't play with the cat on the floor. You couldn't really have too much of a play date. It was I felt like it was really adopt at your own risk because you had no shedding season. I was trying to see if the cat would come to me to hold the cat, because I feel like if the cat allowed me to hold him, that was just the ultimate trust. What turned me away from the Los Angeles shelter was we couldn't take the cat home that day. They would send the cat to another facility. After you sign all the papers and stuff, they would send the cat to another facility, get the cat neutered, all its vaccinations and stuff, and then you would come to that, not the shelter, but to a different facility and pick up the cat the next day. And after gathering that information, I knew that this process wasn't the one for me. I drove from the Los Angeles County Animal Shelter to the Carson Animal Shelter, which is probably about, maybe it was a 30 to 40 minute drive. I don't like driving, so that was a commitment. And I drove to the Carson Animal Shelter, and oh my gosh, you could just tell, not saying at the Los Angeles Animal Shelter they weren't loved and cared for, but at the Carson Animal Shelter you can tell the volunteers there, are just the workers, really put a lot of love into the animals. And you can just even tell by the facility. The building was so cute. It was just all decorated with you can tell someone hand painted the whole facility. This building where the cats are kept, and you walk into the building and it's just all the cats are in the cages, and in the middle of the room it's this clear, it's just 4 clear glass wall, cat scratchers, a chair, toys, and all this stuff, right? So I went around the room and I was just getting to know all the cats, just playing with them through the cage, and I saw this beauty, Mo. She was so freaking gorgeous. She was just purring. She was just really showing out. And then I kept scanning the room, and I saw this guy, and he was in a cage with another cat. I didn't know why. I just thought oh, okay, well, they're just together, right? Couldn't play with Mo because they wasn't sure if she was owner surrender, if her owner was going to come and claim her any day. But they had it was you had X amount of days for the cat to be claimed, and then after that it's just free game. You can adopt a cat. So I had to wait on Mo, and then this guy, I went to the cage to let me play with this guy. And so we're by the cage, and she opens up the cage and she's do you plan on adopting both of them? Because mind you, he was in a cage with someone else. Well, he was in a cage with another cat, and I'm just no, I'm just gonna do the black and white Tux. And then she's oh, they're brothers. And I'm oh crap, damn. And I know I couldn't take on 2 cats, not right now. If I lived alone, I would definitely take on 2 cats, but I don't. So it was in my best interest to only adopt 1. In the cage, you can tell that Tux was the protector. Don't get your fur in my tea. You can tell that Tux was his brother's protector. Tux was more live and pet me, look at me, I'm walking over here, hey, you know, he was just so friendly. And his brother was kind of like to the back. He was catnapping a lot. He was just like, it kind of looked like he was depressed. And I left the animal shelter that day with no cat. So February 4th, I left with no cat, but my happy self, or my optimistic self, left the shelter on the 4th, literally went to Ross, bought like mad cat stuff. Like I bought a cat bed, I bought a cat litter box, a feeding bowl, water bowl. What else did I buy? Did I buy food? No, I didn't buy food. I bought everything but food and litter. Then I left there and then I went to the grocery store to get some stuff for myself. And while I was at the grocery store, the Carson Animal Shelter called me and she was just like, you know, we talked to Mo's owner and it is an owner surrender. She does have behavior issues. She does not go in her litter box. There were more cats in the house. So the owner and the shelter said that, oh, well, maybe she's just like marking her territory so she could be like the alpha cat. And oh, Mo's age was 7. Mo was 7 years old. Hey, don't leave me. Okay, so he's leaving me. Mo's age was 7 years old. And I really wanted a senior cat. I didn't want a kitten or like a baby cat or anything. I wanted a senior cat, or the closest thing I can get to a senior cat. I just wanted someone to just be lazy with me and just like lounge around. You know what? I'll be there tomorrow. I'm coming to get her. Like I'm coming to have a play date with her. And so then tomorrow comes, it's time to play with Mo. I don't know what to call them. I'm gonna Google it. So that way I will know in life what to call these officers. But Amber, that was her name. And I remember her name being Amber because my mom wanted to name me Amber. And yeah, she didn't, clearly, because my name is not Amber. But I really like the name Amber. Ooh, excuse me. But I really like the name Amber anyway. So that's why I remember her name is Amber. And so Amber, we walk to the back. She opens up Mo's cage. She gets Mo out the cage. She puts me and Mo in that glass box that I was describing earlier. And I'm like sitting in the chair. Mo's like walking around doing her thing. And I didn't want to like force myself on her. So I just like sat in the glass box with her for like a couple of seconds, probably like a minute, without even trying to like touch her or try to like interact with her. And I'm just sitting there just watching her do her thing. And then I start to move in like slowly. So I'm like putting my hand out, I'm trying to pet her, I'm trying to like play with her with toys. And this girl hisses at me. She freaking like scatters away from me. She went like this towards me once. And what put the icing on the cake, had she had did all that, I would have still like tried to give Mo a chance, like, okay, we could work on this. It's something we just got to work on. But what took the icing on the cake, what knocked the icing off the cake, I don't know, but she growled at me. In all my years on this earth of being a cat lover, I've never heard or experienced or even knew that cats growl. Like, I'm just like, Amber, I started knocking on the glass and I was just like, Amber, she growled at me. And then Amber comes into the glass box and I'm like, cats can growl? And she's like, all animals can growl. And I'm like, well, she growled at me, I don't think this is gonna work. Like, what should I do? She's like, it's best to go with another cat if I don't have the time to like gain Mo's trust to go with another cat. I'm like, do you know any cats that are like, any cats that would be a good match for me? And I really just want like a senior cat. I really just want a cat that no one is coming in here like, oh yeah, give me that old hag, you know? I just really just wanted a senior cat. And so then she points me to Tux. We're back at Tux, right? And I'm like, you know, he has a brother, that's his brother, the other lady told me, and I really don't want to separate them. Like, I don't have it in my heart to separate the brothers. And she looks at me and she's like, we don't separate them, someone else will separate them. Like, at the end of the day, every cat, their goal is that every animal, cat, dog, hamster, parrot, every animal is to be adopted. So if I don't separate Tux and his brother, someone else will. It was almost closing. Like, it was probably like 40 minutes to closing, if that. And so then I'm like, I run to the front with his ID number, and I'm like, you know what? This is the one. Like, me and Tux in that 4x4 glass box I was telling y'all about. And I'm sitting down, traumatized from moments before, from Mo hissing. Sitting there in the chair, and then from the chair I moved to the floor. And so I'm sitting on the floor, and then Tux is just like rubbing his body on the cat scratchers. He's like in his own world doing his own thing. So then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna move in. So then I move in, I tried to pet him. He's letting me pet him. He's like purring up against my leg. It's just love at first sight. $29 to adopt him, plus I had to pay for licensing for him and registration, but I believe the registration was like $5 to get him registered was $5, or the license was $5. Something was $5, and I was just like, okay. I can't think of anything else about that. Oh, is this my advice? So my advice for anyone that's adopting, that's trying to adopt a cat, is definitely, most definitely, schedule a play date or playtime, just to make sure that you guys' energy mix. Because had I adopted a cat from the Los Angeles shelter, I didn't really get that like one-on-one time with them. So I could have been taking home like a demon, or I could have been taking home an angel, like who knows. Just like Amber said, every cat is going to get adopted. If you feel as though you don't want to separate siblings or whatever the case is, just go for it, because if you don't, someone else will. Create a safe space. Definitely create a safe space. So I didn't want to give him free range to explore the whole house unsupervised. So I just kept him in my room. Everything that he needs is in my room. And whenever I'm like downstairs cooking or like roaming the house, I do let him trail behind me. I do let him go downstairs. And then it's just like, nope, come on, Tux, we're going back upstairs. And he knows, and he just comes back upstairs. Sometimes I have to like, let's go. But other times he sees me going upstairs and he's like, oh, that's my cue. I didn't know that the healthiest way to introduce a cat to a new environment is to let them claim a small portion of the home as theirs. So I guess I allowed him to claim my room as his. So this is the main space that he feels the most comfort in. And then the rest of the house, he's still getting to like warm up and get used to the rest of the house. And after doing like research on Google after the fact, they said that is the best way to introduce a cat to a new space, is to just introduce them to a small space within that large space. Just go for it. Like, cats are amazing. They really are. And I hope this video was, I don't want to say helpful. I don't know if I passed along any help. I hope I did. Hope it was informative. I don't know. But anyways, like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications, or don't. It's up to you. But meet me back here for another video. Tuxedo time. No, that was silly. So yeah, just meet me back here for another video time. No. Live, love, be happy. I'm out.